For 20 years, and I love this map up here, every single one of those million units coming to light, literally and figuratively. For 20 years, the Home Program has brought the federal government together with stakeholders and public servants like you to produce affordable housing for our most vulnerable families. When he signed the bill that created Home, the first President Bush expressed the hope that the program would, quote, promote partnerships among the federal government, states, localities, nonprofit organizations, and private industry to serve low-income families. And indeed, it has. Thanks to the remarkable work of each of you and of other grantees and other partners across the country, the Home Program has leveraged $4 of other public and private investment for every dollar the program spends directly, producing 1 million units of affordable housing. By any measure, that is a historic milestone, and I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for your contribution to that remarkable milestone that we celebrate today. Of course, the Home Program didn't just appear out of thin air. It happened in a moment when adequate, affordable rental housing was increasingly scarce, and not coincidentally, homelessness was on the rise. And so Congress tasked two leaders in the housing community, urban development pioneer and founder of the Enterprise Foundation, Jim Rouse, and David Maxwell, who served at HUD in the 1970s and went on to lead Fannie Mae in the 1980s, with finding a solution. But the Rouse-Maxwell Commission understood that the federal government couldn't and shouldn't do the job alone, that truly tackling the problem would require the partnership of states and localities. That's why Rouse, Maxwell, and the others proposed the first ever dedicated block grant specifically for affordable housing. They'd seen how the Community Development Block Grant leveraged the dollars to build the economic infrastructure a community needs to survive and to thrive, and saw the need for a flexible funding tool that communities could use to focus solely on affordable housing. And with the bipartisan support of folks like Senator Alan Cranston, Congressman Henry Gonzalez, and President Bush, the Home Program was born. Today, we celebrate the difference Home has made, helping responsible families achieve the dream of sustainable home ownership, building affordable rental homes, and providing assistance to the families who live in them, and offering a lifeline to our most vulnerable citizens who may be homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. Just ask Michelle Nash of Owensboro, Kentucky, a mother of 3 who used a home investment to help build the 1 millionth unit in the program's history. With $35,000 in home funding and the support of Habitat for Humanity, Michelle built the first home that she's ever owned. Today, she makes a $400 monthly mortgage payment, raises her kids, and even works as a full-time student. For more than 425,000 families like Michelle's, the Home Program has provided a path to sustainable home ownership, including nearly 50,000 just since President Obama came into office. At the same time, Home has helped communities rehabilitate their affordable rental housing stock. The low-income housing tax credit was responsible for about half of all multifamily production over the last 2 decades. And when costs outstrip the funding available through the tax credit, as you know, Home is there to close the gap and ensure affordability over the long term. Indeed, Home gap financing has helped complete over 132,000 low-income housing tax credit homes in the last 5 years alone, at a moment in our history when it's needed most. Not only is Home helping provide communities with the affordable rental housing stock they need, it's also providing critical assistance vulnerable families need just to pay their rent. Through tenant-based vouchers, the Home Program has supported more than 240,000 families since the program began, including nearly 35,000 since the beginning of the Obama administration. Many of these families were vulnerable to homelessness, if not already homeless. Indeed, 79% of the people we serve through HOME are extremely low income and earn less than 30% of the median income for their communities. Because of HOME and because of you, these families have a place to call home. Today, these funds are in some ways more important than ever, as we face many of the same problems that the Rouse-Maxwell Commission identified nearly 25 years ago, from an increase in homelessness to an aging, undercapitalized affordable housing stock in the wake of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. That was borne out by the results of HUD's Worst Case Housing Needs Survey, in which we reported the largest increase in worst case housing needs in the survey's history. Between 2007 and 2009, we saw a 20% increase in worst case housing needs. That totals 1.2 million households that were added to the rolls of those with worst case housing needs. But the growing need for affordable housing, as you know, isn't the only challenge that we face. In this fiscal climate, we all need to do more with less. And so we've had to make some tough cuts, including a 12% cut to HOME in our 2011 budget agreement with Congress. Let's be very clear, the President said this a number of times. These are not cuts we would make in a different budget environment. These are good, strong programs, as we all know, as Mercedes and I know, as the two biggest home programs in the country before we came to HUD. But Americans are tightening their belts across the country, and frankly, we need to do the same. Still, this is clearly a changed budget environment from the one in which we've operated over the last 2 years, and a changed political environment as well. I hope each and every one of you is out telling the good story about HOME that I've just described and that you all know to be true. But that's not all we need to do. We also need to be sure that our own houses are in order. You all know that we're going to have zero tolerance for waste, fraud, and abuse at HUD. And it's more important than ever that you share that commitment and use HOME for one reason and one reason alone: to produce as much affordable housing with every dollar as we possibly can. We all need to hold ourselves accountable to the families we serve and the taxpayers that we work for. And I want to thank each and every one of you for that commitment. That has always been important, but at a time today, as I said at the outset of my remarks, at a time when too often the value of what the partnership of federal, state, and local government can do isn't fully appreciated, we need to make sure that every single dollar is as effective as possible. And I know that together, we're going to do that.